All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Ways and Means voting session. Sorry that we're starting 3 minutes late, some technical difficulties on our end, so apologies to everyone. We're going to go through the bills that the subcommittees have passed this past week, including 4 bills from early childhood from last Friday. And we will start at the top. House Bill 7, if you can explain it, Delegate Lukey.
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 7 is really kind of was rooted in a local issue, but because it's a tax issue, it had to be a statewide bill. Essentially, it was intended to correct an oversight in the venison donation tax credit that excluded Montgomery County hunters from participating. The amendment language clarifies that exactly, how that exclusion is going to be fixed in a way that makes DNR and some other folks who've been involved in the conversation more comfortable, but also authorizes DNR down the line when this tax credit sunsets in a couple of years to create a grant program for processing donated venison to food banks and stuff like that. It's not mandated funding, it's just the shell of a grant program, but it received unanimous support in the subcommittee. So I move the amendment.
Second.
Any questions on the amendment? All those in favor of the amendment, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Just want to make sure. Any opposed? Abstentions? All right, on the bill as amended?
Move favorable, Madam Chair.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Delegate Ivy. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, that was unanimous. Delegate Ebersol, House Bill 155.
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 155 is going to be held for further amendment.
Okay, thank you. House Bill 206, Delegate Wilkins. Welcome, our new election law chair, Delegate Wilkins.
Thank you, Madam Chair. HB 206, election law, early voting centers. It requires early voting centers to be open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. each day during the election.
Okay. Any questions on that bill? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm sorry, I apologize. Did anyone second that after she moved it?
Second.
I'm sure Julian did. Come on.
I didn't.
Delegate Ivy. Thank you for that. Sorry, I missed that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Yeah,
Any-
right here.
Yes, Delegate Boatler is opposed?
Madam
Yes.
Chair,
Yes, Delegate Long.
I just want to make sure this is for early voting only, correct? Because election polls open at 7 a.m.
Right.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're not changing election day.
Okay,
I apologize, Delegate Long. I'm missing your question. Are you fine with the bill?
I'm good with it. I voted for it, matter of fact.
Okay, just check. I just want to make sure that we caught it correct.
Clear indicator.
I
Just
just
Delegate
want,
Butler and anyone opposed. Anyone abstaining, excuse me. All right, we have Delegate Butler opposed. All right, sorry for my confusion there. House Bill 237, Delegate Ebersol.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This bill, which we saw last year, requires the Maryland State Department of Education to establish a stakeholder advisory group to develop reading and dyslexia handbook to guide local school systems in the implementation of best practices for early literacy and dyslexia. They have to make it available to the public once it's done. It has to be updated periodically. The MSD and the stakeholder advisory group must, and right now it says develop tools and materials that address the needs of at-risk struggling readers and students with dyslexia. They also have to develop professional learning opportunities and technical assistance and delegate a dyslexia liaison at the State Department. They have to provide technical assistance to local school systems. There's one amendment which changes the word develop to identify in case that material already exists, something they developed, but they might identify something that's already developed. I move the amendment.
second.
All right, the amendment was moved and seconded. Any questions on the amendment? Just that single word. All those in favor of the amendment?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, that's unanimous.
The bill is amended.
I will always say that after unanimous, just to ensure I didn't miss something. So please jump in if I had. Delegate Ebersol on the amended bill.
Move the bill as amended.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions? Sarah and Pat, can you take a roll call vote, please?
Delegate Washington. You were muted.
Yes. Sorry.
He's not. Okay, sorry. Delegate Attar,
Yes.
Delegate Barnes,
Yes.
Delegate Butler,
Yes.
Delegate Branch,
Yes.
Delegate Buckle,
Yes.
Delegate Ebersol,
Yes.
Delegate Feldmark,
Yes.
Delegate Guyton,
Yes.
Delegate Hartman. Is he not
He's
here?
absent.
He may not be.
Delegate Hornberger,
Yay.
Delegate Ivy,
Yes.
Delegate Jones,
Yes.
Delegate Lasanti,
Yes.
Delegate Long,
yes,
Delegate Lukey,
Yes.
Delegate Plakovich Carr,
Yes.
Delegate Patterson,
Yes.
Delegate Rose. She's muted.
He is.
See, she's muted.
Yeah, she,
She's still muted. Go to the end and we'll come back to her.
Okay. Delegate Shoemaker,
Yes.
Delegate Smith,
yes.
Delegate Wilkins.
Yes.
Okay, so we have one absent and one we don't know about.
Delegate Rose? Okay, I apologize. I thought there were going to be some no votes there asking for the roll call. So, and I'm not even sure we even always need a roll call when there's some opposed. So sorry about that.
Madam
That's
Chair.
okay.
That passes, I believe, again unanimously. The next bill we have, Delegate Levy, is House Bill 262.
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 262 is a bill we passed last year. It would decouple the state of Maryland from a couple provisions of the TCGA, the federal law that implemented some changes in creation of new opportunity zones under the Federal Opportunity Zone program. It passed on a party line vote last year and this year in subcommittee. Move favorable.
Second.
All right, Delegate Rose is trying to understand why she's muted. Delegate Rose, I would suggest you leave the meeting and come back in. That might fix the problem. And then we'll tell you if you missed anything. Okay, I got your okay by text. And as Delegate Lasanti wanted to make sure I reminded everyone, and if you saw the message yesterday about Delegate Hartman, that his mother died.
Ooh.
And he and I had been in contact several times this week when she first had her stroke a day or two prior. So, that's where he's at right now. So if anyone else wants to send good wishes along the way, he's been pretty responsive. And Delegate Rose, good to see you again. Did you want to vote in favor of that last bill? Okay. We're going with the head nod since the volume's not working, but
Okay, that's fine.
all right. I will fix your name, Delegate Shoemaker, and make you the. All right, thank you. Alistair was the first one to notice. He wins today.
oh geez.
All right, I think 262, back to that, I apologize. Were there any questions? All right, all those in favor of House Bill 262, say aye.
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 All opposed, raise your hand.
Nay.
Is this simply a party line vote and no one else? Is everyone else otherwise? That makes sense for Sarah and Pat to know the distinction.
Shoemaker, Long, and Rose.
Shoemaker. Long.
Six against, the six,
Okay.
Okay, I'll just do party line.
Okay.
yes, the six Republicans who were in attendance today. Yeah.
Okay.
Verified. All right,
Got it. Thank you.
House Bill 335, Delegate Wilkins.
Thank you, Madam Chair. HB 335, Election Law, Party and Elected Public Offices, Prohibitions. It prohibits an individual from simultaneously being a candidate or holding a party office and an elected public office. We do have an amendment on this bill. It clarifies that an individual can hold a public office and be a delegate to the National Presidential Nominating Convention at the same time. So what that means is you can run for your RNC or your DNC and serve in public office at the same time. Madam Chair, I move the amendment.
Second.
Okay, the amendment, again, to everyone, I know there may be contention on the overall bill, but in the amendment itself, it's just a clarification about the convention. Any questions on it? All those in favor of the amendment?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? On the bill as amended?
Favorable.
Move favorable.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Well, I'm not saying it was me. I heard Delegate Ivy say it. All those in favor of House Bill 335 as amended, say aye.
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 Any opposed?
Nay.
Ready?
I think it's party line. Anybody going different than party line, just to indicate to make for easy purposes for Sarah and Pat? All right, we got all 6 of you. Thank you. All right, they got it. House Bill 369, Delegate Wilkins.
Thank you, Madam Chair. HB 369, Election Law, Foreign Manufacture of Election Systems, Notification and Termination of Contract. It requires vendors to notify the state administrator if any component of the election system was manufactured outside of the United States, and also authorize the administrator to terminate a contract if the foreign manufacturer would compromise or appear to compromise the integrity of an election. Move favorable.
Second.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? I'm counting that as, seeing that as unanimous. Okay, next bill that we have is House Bill 392.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This bill requires the State Department of Education to establish guidelines for early childhood developmental screenings for younger children, younger than the age of 3. And each child care center must offer the parent or guardian of each child younger than 3 who enters the child care at the center an evaluation of the child using developed guidelines or facilitate access to them if they don't have them available to themselves. This bill we did entertain last year, but it has 4 distinct amendments. The first and most significant one is that it includes now family child care centers, which were not included in the bill when it was introduced last year because the requirements were much more stringent. We got no, we had no negative feedback from family child care centers on this. It also changes the word evaluation to screening, the Second Amendment, so that they don't have to do it. That seems to be a gentler word for them to be required to do. The third, the notification is required. It said before merely likely to see. We've changed that to a personal message, likely to see. We were concerned might be a bulletin board notification. And finally, there is an immunity from civil liability at the end of this bill. We tied it down that it wouldn't be for any civil, it almost could be interpreted to be any civil liability. This would be civil liability that might arise from the screening or recommendations from the screening that the daycare would be liable for. Unless somebody wants to separate the amendments, I move all 4 amendments as a.
Second.
Are there any questions on any of the amendments? All right, moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? And on the bill as amended, Delegate
Move
Eversole?
favorable, Madam Chair.
Second.
Any seconds? All those in favor of House Bill 392 as amended?
Aye.
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 All opposed, raise your hands. Delegate Boatler, Delegate Shoemaker. Any abstentions? So just Delegate Boatler and Delegate Shoemaker.
Gotcha.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, House Bill 398, Delegate Wilkins.
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 398, Election Law, Time Off for Employee Voting. Employees are currently allowed 2 hours paid leave from work to vote. If the employee would not otherwise have time off to vote while the polls are open, the bill expands this to cover people who vote early or use same-day registration, and also prohibits retaliation against the employee who's absent from work to vote. The amendment just clarifies the intent of the bill. There is an amendment on this. It makes an employee eligible to vote for the 2 hours, either early voting or on election day. So it just makes that distinction and clarification. Madam Chair, I move the clarifying amendment.
Second.
All right, there's a move. Second. Any questions on that amendment? All right, all those in favor of the amendment?
Aye.
Any opposed? Delegate Long is opposed to the amendment. Got that?
Okay. Yep.
All right, excellent. Thank you. On the bill as amended, Delegate Wilkins.
Move favorable.
Second.
All right, thank you, Delegate Palakovich-Carr. All those in favor of the bill as amended?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? On the bill as amended, Delegate, oh, my favorite vote, party line minus Shoemaker, minus Hornberger.
Mine too.
Anyone else? Any other differences? 5 against, Rose, Long, Buckle, Butler, and Shoemaker.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
on the last vote for the amendment, I'll change that to yes.
Where's against?
Oh, we were voting on the bill.
Long, Rose,
Okay.
Baker,
We'll clarify that in a second.
Hornberger's okay.
And to Sarah and Pat, on the amendment, Delegate Long was fine with the amendment. He thought we were voting on the bill, if you want to change that.
Okay.
Thank you, Delegate Long. Thanks for the clarification.
I'm still against the bill.
Yeah.
We get it. Have you changed your mind, though? Yeah, let us know.
Sure, I can
House
do
Bill-
that.
Party
House Bill
line.
405,
Hamburger.
House Bill 405, Delegate Ebersol.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This bill is dual assigned with judiciary. The bill authorizes the court to award a reasonable attorney's fees and related costs, including expert witness fees and costs, to the parent of a child with a disability if the parent prevails in a proceeding that is held to resolve disputes about identification, evaluation, or educational placements of children with disabilities, or the provision of a free and appropriate public education. We move this bill without amendment. Move favor.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any questions? All those in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed, raise their hands. All right, seems to be unanimous. Yes. House Bill 441, Delegate Barnes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This bill establishes a task force to create a unique identification number for businesses that are registered and licensed by state agencies. This bill also, the amendment strikes the health department from the task force. Move the amendment.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any questions?
Move the bill as amended.
Second.
Well, no, we haven't voted on the amendment yet. All those in favor of the amendment?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, back to you, Delegate Barnes.
Please move the bill as amended.
Second.
All right, been moved and seconded. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Glad we don't have more than 25 members. It would be hard to see. All right, excellent. That passes unanimously. And then our last bill, Delegate Barnes, House Bill 497.
This bill repeals the requirements to repay the property tax credit for urban agriculture property for all previous years if the property is no longer used for urban agriculture. Move the bill.
Second.
Any questions? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that is unanimous as well. I believe we have a second page of voting, which is a consent calendar of withdrawn bills.
Madam Chair,
Please.
I move the consent calendar of withdrawn bills unfavorable as a consent calendar. Sorry to repeat myself.
Second.
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 All those in favor of moving the unfavorable on the consent calendar, say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, thank you. We do have a hearing today with 50 witnesses. I know, and it's about 20 of them on one bill from one of our new delegates. So after we question the delegate, let's speed it up for the next 20 people who are speaking. I would just recommend that. I think people know where they might stand on the legislation. You'll see when we get there. Are there any other announcements for the good of the order?
Just deadline today, filing deadline today, 5 o'clock.
Yes, always a good reminder. One of my bills just popped up, so there you go. All right. If there's, yes, Mr. Vice Chair, please.
I was waving goodbye.
Oh.
Sorry.
All right, so moved. Goodbye, everyone.
We will all wave.